You challenged me and I accepted. Well, it was Akil James who challenged me. Under the previous video, he commented, can you make a monster wide target man tactic? I replied, let me see what I can cook up in the kitchen. And then he replied back, looking forward to seeing your work. I completed the challenge within 24 hours. Well, posting this video was after 24 hours. Do you want to know why? Because we got a new camera and I had to wait until we used the new camera. But this might be a new series. Let me know in the comment section if we should do this. You guys challenge me. You give me 24 hours to create a tactic. You come up with some crazy ideas and then I will record a video, of course, trying to complete that challenge. Let me know in the comment section. But today we are going to be looking at this wide target man tactic. It's a monster, and again we have tested it with 3 different teams in 3 different leagues. Before we get stuck in, yes, we do have a new camera, and I guess it's the perfect time for me to say thank you. We're also using a new skin as well. The link to this skin will be down in the description. So just like the last monster tactic, we will look at the results first. Well, briefly look at one result first, and then we will break down the tactic and then look at the rest of the results at the end of the video. But this tactic was created at Sheffield United. Disclaimer, I played all the league games at Sheffield United, and then for the other 2 tests, unfortunately, I just went on holiday and allowed the assistant manager to do it because I couldn't realistically sit there and play 3 full seasons in the league. So we'll start with the Sheffield United in the championship. We of course won the league. We played 38 out of the 46 games and only losing 2 games. Those 2 losses at home to Cardiff and away to Sheffield. Well, Swansea. What am I going with Sheffield? Swansea. At the top here, we've got goals, assists, player of the match, average rating, and clean sheets. I love this. It means that we don't have to leave the screen to look at this sort of stuff. So we can see that Brewster actually scored 26 goals, making him the 2nd top goal scorer. Oliver Norwood got the 2nd most assists. Nobody in the player of the match awards. Average rating, John Egan, one of the centre backs, and a clean sheet for Wes Foderingham. Team stats, we scored the 2nd most goals, but looking at the fewest shots against, the most possession, and the fewest conceded, most points per game as well, you can see that we dominated. For the wide target man test, we use Ollie McBurney as the wide target man, and now this is a bit of a challenge actually because he wasn't a natural right winger. We had to retrain him to be a right winger, which took a few months. So earlier on in his Sheffield United wide target forward career, it wasn't smoothly. It started to become smoothly. As we can see here, he played 46 or 47 games, scoring 20 goals. It says 20 goals here, 11 assists, and an average rating of 7.26, which is, it's very, very respectable. And you can see the squad, the season stats at the bottom as well. Many of us want to know, well, how many headers did he win? He didn't actually attempt a lot of headers, which is kind of a good thing once you see the tactic, but the headers won ratio, you can see nearly 60%. Now you've got to think he's a wide target forward. He's up against a lot of small fullbacks, and that is kind of the plan. That's the game plan. Let's bully those small fullbacks. Attacking wise, when it comes to comparing with other wingers, now a wide target forward is not necessarily a fancy role, but are we actually missing out on a lot? So goals, he's scoring that. Non-penalty XG, he's doing well in that as well. Assist, he's performing above the average. Key passes, progressive passes, and shots on target is all around the average or just above the average. Now dribbles made or completed is where the numbers start to drop off, which is, it makes a lot of sense because the wide target forward does not dribble more often like a winger or an inverted winger or an inside forward. So he's kind of, his numbers, his attacking output is still up there with the rest of the player roles. It's just the dribbling numbers get a bit of a drop off, which you can kind of, you make up for that. The player behind him, a wing back, should be dribbling more often. But that there is how the player performs. We'll look more into that sort of stuff towards the end of the video, but now we're going to look at the tactic and break it down. So what do we have here? We have the new tactic. It's RDS 5113. It's called balance because there's 3 different versions. We've got a balanced version, a cautious version, but also, unfortunately, we have a version that doesn't have the wide target forward. Instead, we replaced that with the inverted winger, and we tested that at Marseille. So it's a 5113, or you could just say a 3313. That sounds a little bit better, to be honest. And this is the player roles all set already. So this allows me to describe the player roles, and then we can fix the player or the team instructions even a little later. Let's look at the philosophy, because the player roles and also the team instructions after will make a lot more sense looking at the game plan. So we are looking to play with a 3-1-3-3 4-3-3 shape in possession, but then defend in a 5-1-3-1 shape when we're defending in a deep block or when we have lengthy spells without the ball. The Roman playmaker is the main focus or source of creation in the build-up and in the attacking areas, the final third. The right winger being the attacking outlet from deep, aim for clearances. So when we are looking to clear the ball, we can look for that wide target forward, and he's also a target for the crosses in the final third. The left winger and the striker make the penetrating runs in behind, look to finish off the attacks. In the build-up, we look to play short passes but not overly patient, so we've got a bit of tempo to it. Cautious mentality may get our defenders to clear the ball rather than play it out from the back, so you get a bit of a mixture, and the wide target forward is the outlet. Now, I've actually named it WTF. I've done this with some of the clips as well that I have for you, and I woke up thinking and I thought, why am I so angry? Why am I put what the in all of my clips? And I just realized it's wide target forward. Constant underlaps and overlaps from the wide central defenders to help create wider overloads and combinations, and look to play quick in transition, just like the previous tactic. We're counter pressing to win the ball, regroup, allow too much pressure. I did try regroup first, and then we counter attack after winning possession to take advantage. So that already kind of explains why we've got two wide centre backs on attack, because we want constant underlaps and overlaps, and that's exactly what the wide centre back is going to provide. Go on the outside of the wing back or come on the inside of the... You guys are dirty. And then in the... I can't believe that. And then in the middle, we do have a ball playing defender on the defend, and in goal, we do have a sweeper keeper on support. Both wing backs are wing backs, but one is on support on the left hand side, and then on the right hand side we've got a wing back on attack because he's the supporting player. I say the supporting player. The wide target forward is on support, but he's supporting the wide target forward player by making those attacking runs, but also dribbling. I did say we've got to make up those dribbling numbers somehow. If the wide target forward isn't going to do it, then we're going to get the wing back on attack to do that. And then the holding midfielder is an anchorman. Some of these roles are slightly different for the Marseille version. Roman playmaker in the middle because he's the source, he's the creation. We're relying on him to create. And then on the flanks, we do have an inside forward on attack, making those penetrating runs in behind defenses. And up top, we do have the pressing forward on attack, again, making those penetrating runs. We've got the wide target forward on the right hand side. Now, when it comes to filling in these team instructions, you can see here, we actually started off with a tiki-taka preset, the vertical tiki-taka preset, and then we changed a lot. The passing directness is on shorter, but the tempo is on slightly higher, and we are playing out from the back. And when I mean that is it for in possession, I mean that is it for in possession. Now, if you really wanted to, you can float crosses to try and tailor the wide target forward, but at the same time, your target forward is still a winger, and sometimes he is crossing, so you've got to kind of be careful and wary of that, because he might be floating in crosses to the inside forward, which you might not want. But when it comes to the inside forward, what we can do is cross to the far post. The same with the wing back on support, cross to the far post. In transition, when possession has been lost, we've mentioned it, counter press, counter attacks. Now, when the goalkeeper is distributing the ball, we're actually putting it out to the flanks. We've got a lot of players on the flanks. We've got bodies, we've got both wing backs, but also wingers. Now, what I find that distributing the ball to the flanks, sometimes when he is looking to the flanks, your wider players actually drop, and the wide target forward is very narrow in this game. You will see that in some of the clips. And then we can take short goal kicks. Lastly, out of possession, operating with a high press, a higher defensive line, but for the balanced version, trigger press or more, actually no, I believe it's on standard for the balanced one, and it's higher for the cautious mentality one, because your defense line then was too deep. Prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and you can get stuck in. This is sort of your preference. You can leave it, not have it on. I had it on, and that there wraps up the balanced tactic. The cautious version is similar, though we are wasting time frequently, and like I said, that higher defensive line. Now, for the Marseille version, the version that we tested at Marseille, of course, we do have an inverted winger on attack. Now, the wing back on the right has dropped to a wing back on automatic, same to the left back. The left wing back before was on support, now he's on automatic. The DM is now a defensive midfielder rather than the anchor man, and then we have a ball playing defender rather than two wide centre backs on attack. I don't know why this made a huge change, but it did. It could be possibly down to the league that we're in as well, League 1. In possession, we are playing with shorter passes and a much higher tempo. The defensive line is dropped down to standard, and that there wraps up the tactic. Now, when it comes to player instructions, I've practically named the player instructions already. aim for the far post. The left winger sit more narrow, tackle harder. The left back stay wider, and the right back as well stay wider, stretch the pitch at all times and cross aim to the far post. But nobody else has any player instructions. And that there wraps up the tactic. Now I guess it's time to see some of the results. So with the second test, I tested this at Hajduk Split. The reason why I've actually tested it with some decent teams is because I felt that this was a tactic, because we're using some roles like a Roman playmaker, a wide centre back on attack, a wide target forward. These are very specific roles, and I don't feel, let's say, I don't know. I don't want to be disrespectful to any team. So let's say a mid-table, a mid to lower end of the table. I don't feel this is going to be necessarily suited for them because of the player roles that we are using. I wanted to get the best out of the player roles. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work. I just haven't tested it. So you can see here though, Dynamo Zagreb are by far the favourites to win this. Even us, we've got decent odds, and this actually got better as the season went on, obviously, because we're performing well. At the beginning of the season though, my God, again, even though we are predicted to finish second, the odds were so in favour of Dynamo Zagreb, it's insane. But we did win the league. We won the league by nearly 20 points. The two top goal scorers, I mean, Nikola Kalajnik, he was one player that we used as the wide target forward, and he scored 43 goals in all competitions. He did split the responsibilities of the wide target man with other players as well, but majority of the games he was the wide target man, and Marko Livaja was the inside forward, and he scored 35 goals in all competitions. We do have the player with the highest assists. We do have two players actually. For the most man of the match awards, Nikola Kalajnik. For the average rating, Nikola again, and then Jan Mlaka, this guy from Brighton, I believe it is. And then for the clean sheets as well, it's our goalkeeper. Team stats: we scored the most goals, had the fewest shots and the most shots for. We had the most dribbles completed and the fewest conceded. Most possession, we come in third place this time. Third place. We did score a lot of goals. Kalajnik scoring 43 goals, Livaja scoring 35. Our backup striker scored 13 goals in 10 starts. And then this guy, he's a winger. He actually played as a target forward sometimes, though he cannot jump. So his jumping reaches, you can't see the number because that's how low it is. And his jumping reach is very low, but he still managed to get 8 assists with 11 goals. 11 goals. Now it's time to look at Marseille. I believe this league is a fix. Now, I've seen so many people get over 100 points, still don't win the league. We've got the same points as PSG, and we just couldn't win. We can't win that one extra game, or PSG just could not slip up that one extra time, which is very, very frustrating, especially towards the end of the league. Like, they literally won, they drew this, and I thought, yes. And then they won 8-0, and it was just like, you know what, this is ridiculous. They conceded 2 goals in that time. Insane, PSG, insane. But we came second, which for me is still an achievement considering the team that PSG have. Vitinha scored 30 goals. Cengiz Under, who was the inverted winger, not the wide target forward, he got 18 assists. Now let's look at his performance. 101 key passes, a lot of key passes, 19 assists, an average rating of 7.33. He played really, really well. Now looking at the team stats, we scored the second most goals. I mean, PSG, yeah, it was PSG's, yeah. Marseille, though, the dribbles dropped down to 6. We had the most clean sheets and a few conceded, though, so we won on the defensive side of things. That was the test at Marseille, but then again, we didn't use the wide target forward. Now it's time to look at some clips and just see how the team played at times. And don't forget, if you are new or you haven't yet, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you leave a comment as well under this video and leave a like as well. The like is probably the most important thing as well, so make sure you're smashing that like button. I had to say that because I'm aware a lot of you don't even reach it this far, but we can look at some game clips now. So this one is labeled as wide target forward, being a target when clearing, and counter attack. We were on a counter attack, so here's a throw in for QPR. Here's Clark. Clark clears it, and he clears it to Matt Burney, who is our wide target forward. He's going to be a target for a lot of your clearances. He collects the ball and he's going to drive towards goal. He links up with Ndai. Ndai, almost a goal, but it was a counter attack nonetheless. I will close this video by watching this goal here, where we completed 38 passes before scoring a goal. But we can see here the wide target forward narrow positioning, also the overlapping right back, and he also got the assist, the wide target forward. So here is Clark on the ball. He plays it into O'Connell. Here's Ollie Norwood looking for Matt Burney. You can see how narrow Matt Burney is. You can take that from the other clip as well, how narrow he was. And you can see here again how narrow he is. And you can see how wide the wing back is. So he collects the ball, links up with Sander Berge. He plays it out wide to Baldock. And now Matt Burney's just going to support him. He supports him, gets the ball, plays it to Norwood. Smashing goal. More narrow play from the wide target forward. Wide target forward, narrow playmaking. Here's Rayo Albiol. This is against Villarreal. So they've got the ball momentarily. They lose it. And then you can see here, Malacca this time is the wide target forward. Look how narrow he is again. He comes in narrow. That's basically the half space. He comes in and he's going to playmake. He's playmaking for the side. Look at how he just switches the ball out wide and allows us to go on attack. We put the ball into the box, and what a beautiful goal against Villarreal. Away from home, actually, and we won 3-0 in that game. Now, I talk about underlaps and overlaps from the wide centre-back. We're going to see the wide centre-back actually underlapping here. So here he is. He's already highlighted. I've already clicked on him, and he's going to make this underlapping run. He plays it out wide, and look at that underlapping run. He's trying to force them back, and by doing that, he's actually created that space technically. So if we just go back, I know it might be a bit of a stretch, but you can see he's occupying this defender here, and as he's come out, he's taken the defender out with him, which obviously in turn creates this gap here, which wasn't there before. Lavaja gets it, and what a finish again against Villarreal. Lastly, we could just chill out to this goal here. Completed 38 passes, and it all starts off here with Egan. He plays it back to the goalkeeper. No, he doesn't play it back to the goalkeeper, to Basham. Basham back to Egan. Egan to Bogle. I know the goalkeeper touches this a few times though. I do wonder if every player has touched the ball with this move. So O'Connell, that's the whole back line. That's the left wing back now. Norwood has touched the ball a couple times. He is the Roman playmaker. I do like how the two central midfielders have now kind of split. So they're not, one's not ahead of the other. They're now playing in tandem, and now one is dropping deep. You can see Sander Berge now. So I think everybody has touched the ball. Here's the left wing back. He's going to play all the way back to the goalkeeper. Basho. The left winger I don't think has touched the ball. Has he? Matt Burney's touched the ball here, and the striker. The left winger and the striker are a bit lonely in this move. You can see the move is still playing out. We are a bit patient. We are a bit patient though. Oh, the striker's touched the ball. I think it's only the left winger. No! Only the left winger doesn't touch the ball. 10 players touched the ball. I'm upset. It's a beautiful goal. It was one away from being perfect, but what a goal. What a goal. Unfortunately though, that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget, challenge me more, feed me more. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe. God bless. Peace out.